Jurnee, welcome back to SCAD aTVFest, and congratulations on your Distinguished Performance Award.
Thank you so much. It's truly an honor. You guys have always been so supportive of me and projects that I've been a part of, and I don't take it lightly.
We love you at SCAD.
I feel the love from you.
Full House, Friday Night Lights, True Blood, Lovecraft Country, of course. What's an early showbiz lesson that you learned and that you continue to rely on?
One thing in this industry that quite a few of us artists struggle with is people constantly trying to put you in a box, being cast in the same type of role, someone limiting your talent. And that's really been something that I've had to fight against. I was the kid, and then it was, but we can't think of her as anything other than this kid. And then it was, we're not willing to go ethnic on that role. And so I've constantly struggled with fighting against that system, because it can make you feel somehow that you're not enough, right? And I think it's just so important as artists for us to just never apologize for who we are. And our uniqueness is what makes us so special. Viewers, audiences gravitate towards in the artist, right? It could be Picasso or Katharine Hepburn, right? Like when we see someone who's uniquely themselves, I think that's what we respond to.
Such a great lesson. There's only one you. The timing of the series couldn't have been more culturally relevant. How does the show meet this moment?
It's the sad truth, it's the sobering truth, I think, of our nation, that this show is still so relevant. Systemic racism that the show touches upon, the horrors of being Black in America in 1955, you can relate to in 2021, episode 8, in which we're at Emmett Till's funeral. I mean, that is Trayvon Martin, that is Breonna Taylor. And the grief that we as Black Americans have had to live with. It's not new. And I think as an artist, it's food for my soul to see how viewers have responded to it through this narrative. It helps expand the lens. But also, I don't know what year the show could have been released, and it wouldn't have been timely, unfortunately, because of the healing that we still have to do as a nation.
Mm-hmm. Very important.
Mm-hmm.
From Lovecraft Country to Watchmen to Get Out, an entire generation of young Black creatives like Jordan Peele examine history, identity, and systemic racism, as you've just been discussing. How do you see the horror and sci-fi genres continuing to evolve?
There are so many Black voices that are stepping behind the camera and writing our stories and expanding the genre. That's what's so exciting for me about this time, like Jordan Peele, like Misha Green, Nia DaCosta. I kind of call them disruptors because they kind of stand in opposition of the old guard. For me as a Black actress, I love horror, and it's something I've spoken about a lot, in which, I intentionally stayed away from this genre because oftentimes the scripts just weren't fulfilling for me. They were very degrading. Character rarely would have any sort of agency. Oftentimes she was killed off very early. And so having to intentionally avoid this genre was so stifling and sad for me, because I'm a fan of the genre.
You're a fan.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I want to jump in the pool. I want to have the fun that everyone else can. And so it's just very thrilling that there's so many more voices, expand the gaze, and more female voices, more people of color. It's a very exciting time to see this crop of disruptors coming in.
Mm-hmm. And great stories too.
Yeah, really thrilling and exciting stories. And it feels very fresh and alive.
I agree.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about your upcoming film, Escape from Spiderhead?
It's a wild ride. It's it's a great cast. Chris Hemsworth, Miles Teller. Miles Teller and I play inmates in a facility, a prison that's run by Chris Hemsworth's character, Amnesty. And in exchange for commuting our sentences, we allow him to test different futuristic drugs on us, emotion manipulating drugs. And yeah, it's an exploration of power and abuse of power and forgiveness and redemption. The sci-fi visionary Joe Kosinski is our director. It's for Netflix. I can't wait for people to see it. It's definitely unlike anything I've been a part of.
Another amazing project that you've worked on and contributed your grace and your gifts to.
Thank you.
I'm just so happy that you're here with us today. You have a lot of friends and admirers at SCAD.
Thank you for having me, Paula.
Wonderful.